Yo, what's up, guys? It's BUUBACKWARDS, aka Uub, artist, producer, engineer, and just full-time creative. And I really be in the studio like every day, 24/7, 5,000 minutes in a row.
Yeah, hello? Yeah, I can't talk right now. I'm in the studio.
BUUBACKWARDS, Uub, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yep.
We've heard about you quite a few times here on the podcast, working with everybody and their mama.
Hell yeah.
How you feeling today?
I feel good, man. How are you feeling?
Good. Tired, but good. All right, so let's start off with the basics. Where are you from?
I'm born and raised from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice. What part of Vegas specifically?
All around, literally all around. Growing up, we moved like every fucking season, it felt like. So west side, east side, south, north, like no cap.
You got to see every part of Vegas.
No, yeah, it's only a few places I haven't lived out there, like Southern Highlands. I haven't personally lived out there. I think there's like a area further out, but like kind of that area, that's the only thing. I've lived in like Centennial, Henderson, Green Valley, like everywhere.
So you've been literally been in Vegas your whole life, pretty much, up until this point.
For sure, yeah. My mom's side is from Chicago, but I'm born and raised in Vegas.
Gotcha. Vegas is actually where we met.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Quell. But all right, how long have you been making music?
Ooh, I'm 24 now. I've been making music at least almost like 8 years, for sure, which is crazy. A couple more years would be a decade. That's crazy, for sure.
It's super crazy too, because I mean, you are very young still, so a decade in before you're 25, or pretty much 26.
No, yeah,
it's pretty wild. It's a pretty big accomplishment.
For sure.
So with that, can you remember, I mean, it's been a lot of times I'm guessing you've been in the studio, but can you remember your first studio experience?
I think I hate to get it wrong and then remember back after the interview, but I'm pretty sure my first studio experience was my uncle CP. He brought me to one of his studios. It was actually by the Palms. I forget the name. Hella people are familiar with it. It was like this had to be like around the 2010, 2011 type. Around that time, he brought me to one of the studios, and I didn't know what the hell was anything. I didn't really even have interest in making music, but it was like it was cool to like just be there and like check certain shit out. Like he had like shot it was like a studio with a money vault in there, like a vault, I think. I think people would recognize it off that, so. Yeah, he had like shot certain album covers with it and all type of shit, so it was cool like seeing it in person. But yeah, I think that was my first experience. Yeah, my uncle CP, he's like a super amazing singer. So yeah, I definitely got to get him on some music.
That's what's up. Okay, so like walk me through it. You guys went into the studio and you just looked around?
Yeah, for sure. I just looked around. Honestly, I think I was just at some point just playing games on my phone. Like, for real, like it was cool, but I wasn't like tapped in, like super duper tapped in, but that's definitely, I had remembered that not too long ago. Like, that was my first like experience.
And that was a big studio too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool for sure.
So when was the first time that you got in the studio specifically to work?
That's a harder question. Damn. Sheesh. Damn, I would really have to think about that one. Cause I would want to say Junction, but it's like no, like I for sure like had to go. No, like even like I think like even like Studio 77 maybe even one of those. But yeah,
Studio 77's in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah. All of these are in Vegas. Cause I've had like studio situations, but it's like even before those, I've definitely just randomly went to a studio. So.
Gotcha. What can you remember from that experience?
Really just getting familiar with like gear, you know, really just getting familiar with like physical gear versus like
just the interface.
Versus just the interface or plugins, you know.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of producer engineers that go from like that home situation to a studio. I don't think a lot of people necessarily understand how big of a jump it is to go from like looking at what you think a preamp is supposed to look like as a plug-in to actually seeing a preamp in real life and understanding like, oh, if I push the wrong button, I can actually kind of fuck this thing up.
No, for sure.
And I might not know how to fix it. It looked very different on your computer.
For sure.
Was that intimidating for you?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't for the longest because I still, honestly, sitting here thinking about it in real time, I think I haven't caught up in the amount of years I spent like just making music at the crib or like just in the garage. I don't think I've caught up yet versus being actually in the studio making the creations. Like, I've had a bunch of situations and I've definitely made hella music in the studio, but I've made hella music in the garage and at home, like, so yeah.
So are you looking to get your hands on some more outboard gear so you can start really
that'd
figuring
be cool. That'd be cool for sure. Like, I mean, the big homie Dawson, he has like a travel kit, you know, and I'm sure he's upgraded it by now, but I remember him having like a certain Neve with it, you know, and
more than likely a 1073. That's like the pretty standard one.
Yeah, the cool little small one. And yeah, that shit's fire. So something like that, just so out of convenience, you know.
No, I bet that. Well, and I mean, getting used to that gear too, just for anybody that's watching. People don't really, if you can understand how to use the popular gear, you will be good at pretty much every studio you go to. Neve 1073, TubeTech CL1B, an Avalon 737, like just learn some of the names of some shit you're gonna see everywhere and you're gonna be, it'll be good.
Just learn how to turn it on and somewhat know what you're doing when you're turning some of the knobs.
And a lot of that has to do with your sound too, right? Like if you have a sound that you know how to get on these pieces of equipment, like you really will sound light years ahead of a lot of the other people that are working just from home, you know?
Yeah, troubleshooting is the number one, like, you learn the most from just troubleshooting, I feel like. From an engineering standpoint, from a producing standpoint, whenever you run into these certain issues and you actually figure out the problem, like, I mean, sometimes it takes forever. Sometimes you don't figure it out until like way later, but you know, that actually teaches you a lot.
Facts. No, it's big facts. Yeah. All right. Can you remember your worst studio experience? Like where something crazy, people was flipping off walls, somebody's baby mama came and started shooting up the place. Anything crazy? Nobody throwing up all over you?
I think probably my worst, but not, I say worst only because of like the person who I was having to deal with for, it was like a 14-hour session, like straight up. And it's like being with this person for longer than 30 minutes. It's like very annoying, you know, so, but, you know, it was great. It was great money for the time, you know, but whatever the saying is, like, you know, everything's, not all money is good money, you know. But it was good money for sure at the time. It was just fucking annoying. Like,
so what was annoying about it? So maybe the people watching won't do what this person did. I kind of just leave
it at that because already off the 14-hour session, homie gonna see it. But nah, that shit was. It's just like you have to. I mean, music is music, but also you're involving yourself with human beings and human beings around others, you know. Some you just don't really blend with, some you match well with, others, you know, you don't. So just one of those things, like, and it's just a 14-hour session, like, you know, like.
That's rough.
I think we probably took a food break, but
I've done a couple of those.
That was like at the 12th, 13th hour.
Yeah, I've done a couple of those. Them shits is not fun.
No.
At hour like 9, 10, niggas is just trying to come up with something.
Nah, it will be fun if it was like, I would do that again if it was like a dope collective type, whether it's like some motherfuckers I want to work with or like my own motherfuckers. Like if it was like a collective situation and
multiple engineers, multiple
multiple
producers,
people,
yeah.
you know, food.
Where the work is like spread out equally.
Yeah, you know.
No, I got you. I've been wanting to plan one of those too, so maybe we have to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite studio?
Are home studios included?
Home studios are cool. Well, let's do one home and then one like
all right.
where you like to work out, where you feel the most comfortable.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I feel the most comfortable when I'm like, no cap. I've made so much, you know, like growing up with my mom and shit. She also helped out a ton when it came to actually me taking interest in producing. So, like, she'd sit there and help me, like, get speakers and even, like, my first, like, Mac. But I've made, like, projects. It's just something different. Like, it might sound corny, but it's just, like, a different type of comfort and just vibe. Like, a lot of my own music and a lot of, like, dope opportunities, like, me making the beats for Cash Kid, you know, a lot of that shit came from like the garage. So for sure, I'ma always say that. But like outside of that, another, I won't get into the situation, but there was a studio, and we used to go by like FGC Studios, and like that was a dope ass experience because we had like, you know, the gear you would need in both rooms to like have your shit sounding good. We had like the games in there. We had the fucking comfortable ass like couches, like all type of shit. Like I damn near lived there, so the people from that situation, they already know. But yeah, I think that's still like
That's one of my favorites. Got a special place in your heart.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Any honorable mentions?
Of course on. Of course, on the track.
Well, not just obviously like this is our spot, but like like any honorable mentions in Vegas, like places that you like to go back and work at.
For sure, Junction, Grove. Those are like the only two places as of right now I personally like go back and forth from. There's hella places out there. Even like. I got homies starting to start their own studios now, so it's hella studio. I mean, you would know too, like it's hella studios out there. I don't think people would even know or realize, you know?
Well, and I feel like a lot of them have been popping up over the last couple of years too, because when I first got to Vegas, the only studios really were like the bigger ones, and I felt like Junction was still a part of something else when I first got there. So
no, facts.
It's dope seeing how this kind of like building and people are doing their own thing over there. Because it's definitely, I mean, something's brewing over there. So, do you have any life-changing moments in the studio? Like maybe, like you unlocked something in yourself where you could start creating on another level. You met somebody you wanted to meet.
Made
a crazy connection.
For sure, I've met a lot of people. I'd say through the studio, like through the studio, through certain sessions when I was like rolling with the homie Prince Tay. You know, we'd be around one of his managers. His name is James McMillan, and you know, just being around him, just being cool with him, you know, led me to a point where I'm backstage one day in Vegas, and you know, I ran into James, and he's like, "Yo, do you wanna like come on stage for the YBN Corday like performance?" I'm like, hell yeah. It was like some dealings between like our camp and YBN back then, but we never like met Corday yet type. So, and I had gave him a flash drive a little bit before that. So I'm like, hell yeah, just with beats on it. But then that led me into meeting like hella other people and shit. So I just say, I mean, not like life-changing, but I mean, just very dope and like eye-opening to like a lot of this. Like this is very real. Like, you know, once you're in certain spaces and you do meet certain people, or even just have certain conversations with certain people, you understand that like this is very real. Like it's different from being like something like a dream that you're chasing, and it's more like, no, this is like you just got to put the work in. Like this is this is like a business, like this.
You got to work it like a business. People that come in here with dreams and aspirations don't understand, like, yo, this is a grind.
No, and it's very possible. You just got to do certain things right.
You got to put yourself in the right spaces. Well, and really real quick to kind of highlight on a point that you said, you handed them a flash drive. Do you still recommend doing that in 2024? Pulling up on somebody with some beats and just giving it to them and hoping for the best?
For sure, because I mean, who knows what, I think I gave a hard drive to Kari from TD, YB and Corday, maybe Polo G. We saw him and took pictures with him, but I think I saved my hard drive for that. A couple other people. Like Cal Banks. Damn, that's crazy. I just remembered that while saying it. Cal Banks, because I met him with Isaiah Rashad. So either him or Isaiah, I gave them a flash drive for sure. But yeah, I definitely do recommend it because it's like, yo, if they do, like, if you got some shit and like they do end up loading it, like, you know, like I've definitely put like a notes thing or like a text thing in there with like your contact information. So you just
maybe even put it like a logo and a number on the actual flash drive or
like,
something.
Damn, this shit fire. I don't know who it's from. That suck.
For sure. That's a good point. That's a good idea. We're gonna have to talk about that too. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you have any goals that you want to achieve here in music over the next, like, maybe year, 2 years, couple years?
Over the next year, I just definitely want to establish myself more out here as like a concrete producer. So more people, no matter the fan base that they personally have, like artist-wise or just people, period, like just more people are aware of me. Definitely want to do that within the year. It's definitely going to happen within the year. And then just
a lot closer than most people think, too.
Yeah, you know, just continuing to creating like I have, you know, working with other people. I'm gonna just continue riding that wave. And then, you know, eventually at some point within the years, or maybe not even that long, like, you know, start breaking off more into my like individual things. But, you know, I enjoy collaborating and I enjoy what's going on right now. So I'm just really just doing that, you know.
Absolutely. Do we have, I mean, we might as well just start listing off the very long list of upcoming projects that you working on. Is there any you want to, any mentions?
Yeah, we don't have no names for nothing. I don't think they would want me to say any names if we did, but tape with Mantha coming, tape with Dream coming, tape with Amir Says Nothing coming. I think as far as tapes-wise, that's about it. As far as like my end, definitely just songs, like just songs with just other individuals on the way. Some nice, dope things I'm looking forward to. And eventually some of my own music too, you know, but yeah, a lot of shit coming out and it's gonna just continue being like that, you know, so.
Absolutely. All right, do we want to do any shout outs, anybody that you want to show some love to? Shout
out God for sure, shout out my family, you know, everybody like friends and all, they know, my family know who they are, so shout out my family, shout out the studio, shout out you, yeah, that's about it. All right, y'all, my name is BUUBACKWARDS. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, listening to my interview, checking me out. You can follow me everywhere at BUUBACKWARDS. That's on Instagram and Twitter and whatever else you can find me. Again, that's BUUBACKWARDS. Add me on the game too. And I really be in the studio in real life. So that's it. Show.